Hey, what's up? This is Jeff Staple. Don't forget, we will very soon be separating the 3 shows on Hype Radio, so you will have to go and individually subscribe to those shows that you want to listen to. So search and subscribe right now to The HBR Show and Soundcheck on HYPEBEAST Radio or Hype Radio to keep listening. Do it now so you don't miss any episodes. Okay, let's get into this week's show. From HYPEBEAST and Hype Radio, I am Jeff Staple, and this is The Business of Hype, a show about creative entrepreneurs, brand builders, innovators, and the realities behind the dreams they've built. In the world of streetwear, there are different cities that serve as cultural epicenters and help drive the overall industry as a whole. LA, New York, London, and Tokyo. Paris is undoubtedly part of that bunch, and helping make the impact in that city and well beyond is BlackRainbow's Greg Hervieux and Jay Smith. Part magazine, part brand, part creative marketing agency, part, you know what, I'll actually just let them do the defining. The two are key figures who have helped contribute to major moments in street culture. Get ready for some gems and welcome Greg and Jay to the Business of Hype.
I'm Greg Hervieux from Paris, BlackRainbow agency, and welcome to talk to you in Dubai. And I'm gonna let my partners introduce himself.
Yeah, I'm Jay Smith, BlackRainbow agency Paris, co-founder, supreme chief, and CEO of a company doing like billions of bullshit.
Billions of bullshit.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is my first question because it's gonna go off of what you just said. What the fuck do you guys do?
Yeah, it's funny. That's the most question nobody ever asks. Nobody understand what we do.
No.
But nobody asks the question what we do.
Well, I've known you guys for over 15 years now, maybe 20 years almost. Okay.
Yeah. Each other.
Yeah.
I think
I've known you guys. Yeah. And I have to say, I don't always understand how you guys make a living.
Even us, to be honest, I think we don't really know. No, it's tough to say to re-explain. That's the question.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons we created the magazine like a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time we start to introduce our business to partners or brands or even people around us, it was really, really difficult to explain. We do like some consulting to explain how's the market, how to make like the real shit. To make it happen.
And what did the BlackRainbow magazine, why did that solve that problem?
It didn't really solve everything, but it solved the vision. To put an image on something is like the same as put a face on a name.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
Yeah.
So it was a good one, no? It was a good one, Jay? Okay,
but instead of trying to be like, we do A, B, C, D, you're just like, boom, here's the magazine, look at what we do.
Exactly.
And it's just back in the days, you have to come back in the days, way back. Sometimes there is 2 ways to do a business. Either you have a great idea and a genius idea and then you rip up the market because it's going to revolution everything. Or you just advance organically. I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's so cheesy to say that. It's just happening by random chance and meeting people. But in fact, sometimes in business, because so many people, you start to do some project who have no sense to, who are not even connecting between one another. But at the end of the day, one rock to another rock, you go to the mountain,
To be honest, what he said is really, really smart.
Right.
Because it's the truth. When we met through my brand. I used to have a streetwear brand more than 20 years ago. We started in France, and he was journalist. So he used to write a paper on the streetwear market, on his evolution and everything. So we met for the first time around that. And a few years after, he quit his job to his magazine, and it was like the end of my brand. I was at the end of the stories, and I was thinking to doing something else. And I just got the opportunity to meet the people from Chanel. And we came up with an idea to try to do streetwear, but as another way, something different. And we start to discuss with Jay and to say, okay, what we could do. He was thinking to do magazine. I was thinking to do like a new project or probably a new brand and everything. And I said, you know what? That's funny because we just talked with the guys from Chanel, and they're really interesting about our culture, and they would like to bring something new in their luxury, and they ask us to come with ideas.
Right.
And we said, okay, you know what? That could be like fun to do like a consulting agency, a creative agency, and doing like some, I don't know, advice to brands to explain really what we are.
Okay,
where
this
we
is
come
pure
from.
bullshit. What he's saying right now is pure bullshit. You know, this is not even
That's not the way it happened. Okay,
That's the
Jay.
story.
No, that's the marketing story.
Okay, tell the real
That's
story.
No, the real story is they comes to me and they comes to he
Yeah.
was not there.
But tell the real story.
No,
What's your side?
I mean, this is the Chanel story is so true and everything. This is so true. But even let's say, for example, the Chanel story, it's because this is where it starts, okay? And it's really important because we never really talk about this. I mean, how it happens is like Greg was just coming back from Asia. It was the start of Medicom toys. It was a boom of 1000% beer brick. It was everything. And as usual, Greg wanted to. That's true.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. And then they ask him like to find the studio. Ask him like they were randomly talking. I'm sure like it's during like a lunch at Colette. You know this kind of. The same the
Colette
brunch.
come on.
You know this kind of brunch when you meet some people and then say, oh, let's do something together, and then they say, oh, we should do that, and then it slip on a paper, and then suddenly they come back to him.
Not at all.
By the way, these guys are business partners.
Yeah.
These guys are supposed to
I mean, before the end of this interview, we were a business partner. Right now, we are writing the story.
No, you know why? I'm gonna explain you why. Because it's really difficult to explain something. No. That one would be the worst interview for Jeff ever. Because we start the company with this project, and this project start before the company.
This is true.
Okay, so before you started the company, you got a client.
Yep. Yeah. We got like 2 clients.
Okay.
We got like Citadium.
That's true.
Citadium,
And we got like Chanel.
Citadium is, for people who don't know, it's like
Citadium, it was the first department store in Europe and even probably in the world to dedicate the department store to the streetwear and the sport culture.
Yeah.
It was only streetwear and sport culture.
Yeah, but in a mall.
In the mall,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that was your first time.
So it was 3 or 4 floor of malls with every brand, everything.
Yeah.
So they come to us. So I met them through the brands once again, same as Chanel. I met them through the brands. So that's the real story. And the name of the brand back then was Triad.
Your streetwear brand was called Triad.
Yes, exactly. And it was the time when I used to do money, like as today.
Yeah.
And yes, we used to have like 2 clients. And we got the idea to make a media.
Okay.
And the real idea of the media, it was not to do the paper, but doing like a web. But that was my question.
Yeah.
And that's the subject today. Are we going to do money?
Yeah.
You know, we have to thinking about that. 10 years ago, it's okay, you do a blog, because it was not like a website or magazine or whatever. It was just a fucking blog. And I tell him, Jay, come on. Are we going to do money with that?
Yeah.
We're never going to do money today because it's the future. So we're going to do money probably in 5 years or 6 years or 7 years.
That is true.
So what we're going to do? And I tell him, that's so funny because I met Chanel and Chanel asked me to come with idea to bring like some street or, contemporary or funny idea in the studio. And I was in Tokyo for Triad once again to do like a beer brick and doing like a 12-inch the year before. And I don't know why, just like that said, we can like propose to do like a beer brick. We never know.
A Chanel beer brick.
Yeah. So we came with the idea to Chanel and said, would you like to do like a beer brick? And I don't know how it's going on. It was funny because Carl was in Tokyo a few months before and he bought a beer brick. And he saw the beer brick, he said, oh, that's so funny, I was not at the meeting, but this is what happened. Said,
when you say Carl, you mean?
Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah. You can't just be like Carl.
Yeah,
I mean, for us it's Carl. It's Uncle Carl.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're talking in the studio, they said Carl.
Yeah,
they don't say Karl Lagerfeld.
So
they don't say Mr. Karl Lagerfeld or
coincidentally,
whatever.
Karl Lagerfeld also bought a bear brick on his own.
Yes,
you pitched a bear brick Chanel, so the planets sort of aligned.
Exactly.
Exactly. As you said, you don't work for the brand.
And that's funny.
People.
Yeah.
Because inside Chanel, they was not really crazy about the idea. I said, okay, but let's see. So they come up with the design of Coco.
Yeah.
And I done the project with Medicom.
And when you say Coco, you mean Coco Chanel.
Oh, come on. Yeah. But in fact,
I mean, come on, those kids don't even know the difference between.
That's true. You're right.
So it's a Coco Chanel bear brick. Amazing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Amazing. It was not. at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
they
had-
didn't see it as being
exactly.
Okay.
And so we came up with with this. So we did the Coco Chanel Bear Brick. We bring it to the studio. The studio saw like the Bear Brick in real. It become like amazing, crazy story because at the beginning it was supposed to be like only 25 pieces just for the studio and friends and family. And that become a real business because Karl Lagerfeld saw that and he said, okay, we're going to change the game and we're going to do the display window everywhere in the world. And that was the first real fucking business.
So how many pieces did they finally?
I cannot say that.
Okay, way more than 25.
More than 25,
Okay.
for sure.
As you can tell, Greg and Jay are hilarious together. What the hell do they do? Even they themselves are not on the same page as to how BlackRainbow started. But the absence of a simple answer is actually more telling. They actually had a client before they even had a company. And if you think about it, any really great company does in fact start that way. Companies aren't really born on a PowerPoint presentation or an Excel spreadsheet. They're born in your soul. And if you're as lucky as Greg and Jay are, you get to do the actual work at hand versus the work of forming a company. Their relationship with Chanel started organically. It was really Greg's foresight into the growing popularity of Metacom and street culture as a whole that helped jumpstart the actual work. Yes, there was some happenstance where Karl Lagerfeld himself bought a Bear Brick, but the knowledge that they brought to the table sold the idea in and made the project come to fruition. That insight is what helped build the foundation for BlackRainbow. Experiences they gained in their home city of Paris and observations they made in other countries. All of that is used as research to help a brand like Chanel tap into something way more valuable than luxury, and that's authenticity. Because there's a lot of people listening that might want to be forming a company of their own with a partner.
Yeah.
Right? Like their homie, they want to form a company with them. When you met Jay,
Yeah.
what made you say like, this this makes me laugh saying it, I'm sorry. What makes you, when you met Jay, why were you like, he's going to be my business partner?
I didn't say that. I even didn't thinking about it.
Okay.
To be honest, when I met these guys, he was
didn't
not
like me.
I didn't like him.
He fired me before.
Man, everywhere I was, even in my trunk, he was there. In my room, he used to sleep under my bed. He used to sleep in my trunk. He used to be in my office. He used to be everywhere where I was because he was like a young puppy, a little crazy, and was like. And I used to my
Okay,
partner.
stop the interview. I cannot let that.
Oh, come on.
There is a guy who just asked me to take a picture with him right now at the breakfast.
Yes,
Jeff, can you
that's
agree with
true.
that?
I agree,
I'm not
yeah.
a young puppy.
No,
So you-
no. I said he used to.
Yeah.
So I was not. I was not able. No, I never.
He just hung around enough to make him worth your while.
No, and to be honest, also what I really appreciate with Jay, and this is what I saw in these guys back in the day. He was really hungry and really involved in the industry and want to create things, and that was the most important for me.
Yeah.
To have like people who really want to make things.
Right. And you're also getting older. You've seen a lot of shit, and you knew you needed like young energy, right? Okay.
You know.
Jay, what did you see when you met Greg?
Nightmare. Nightmare on feet.
What is
It's exactly like you don't. I mean, it's funny because since we started this interview, I'm trying to break in the process, but the first word is coming is organically. I mean, you don't decide. It becomes your. It's as if like you met a girl and you say, "Oh, it's gonna be my wife." I mean, sometimes it's happening, love at the first sight, but I don't really believe in that shit. But like. It's happening with years through like you get problems and drama and shit, and this is what I say to most of the people because they don't understand, because we yell at each other. We have a really like unique way to work together, because most of the time when people work with us, they stop to work with us because we mess with them too much. They can follow us. I mean, we have this weird way to work. I can deny it.
You can see.
Yeah,
You're like a married couple, that's been married for 60 years.
Yeah, but we know
Exactly.
we don't. Sometimes now we don't even need to talk to understand, but only both of us understand, which is really tricky actually. When you have a company and employee, we can like really follow your pace. To be honest with you, but the only thing I always appreciate with Greg, and people are gonna laugh about that because I'm sure it's not the image they got of him, is honesty. Because the most important things after that is not he's good, intelligent, smart, and everything, because he's not. And even not sexy. But what I'm saying is like, at least I know when he say black, he's gonna be black. Whatever happening, Even if there is a red storm, even if there's a green storm, even if there is a terrorist attack, he's still gonna say black. And he knows I'm gonna be the same. I'm not gonna change my mind on everything. So it means like, and to be honest, now you've been in the business since a long time. How many fucking people like change their mind in the middle of an idea?
Right.
And they said, oh, okay, no, we're gonna do that. Even when they have the email saying like, yeah, I told you black, and you show them the email. I never said that. Right. Like me,
Yeah, right.
But at least, Greg, whatever happened, we're still gonna go there. After that, you can say it's a good idea or bad idea, but at least I don't care. And honesty, when you're partners, and we've seen so many people in the industry, especially like getting like ripping off themselves apart because of honesty and trust.
Yeah.
But honesty and trust is the most important thing. Then you're solid. So
there's a lot of there's a lot of sayings where people say like, "Yo, keep it real."
Yeah.
But what you described is that he keeps it real.
Yeah.
And you keep it real, right? Like what you say is what you're gonna do, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we said to our clients. What we're gonna sell you, this
Yeah.
is what you're gonna have.
Seriously, Greg and Jay are like an old married couple. But aside from the unique way that they work with each other and the hilarious back and forth, they still stay true to the core of their business relationship: trust and honesty. That's probably the most important basis to build a working relationship and the company off of. It's unfortunate but true. We've seen too many great brands and companies break down because those ideals weren't there. So whoever you're starting a new venture with, whether it be your homie or someone you recognize who's seeking something similar, make sure trust and honesty is there. It'll help start a clear path in the beginning, because once you're in the thick of things, big or small, disagreements and criticism will inevitably happen. But when that happens, with the right partner, it will be for the betterment of the partnership. So I want to go back to the magazine, because you said the best way you thought of to exhibit what BlackRainbow does is to let's just make a fucking magazine.
Yeah.
Right? But making a magazine is expensive.
Yeah.
Who paid for the magazine?
Us.
So you had to spend money. It was a loss, right? Because I assume that you didn't have did you have a client paying for the whole magazine?
So for the concept of the magazine, we always have one partners.
Yeah.
Because as you
but
said.
But this is the first. I'm talking about the first ever one.
Yeah. The first ever one. Even with the first.
You had a company. Who was it?
Nike.
It was Nike.
Okay.
Nike Soccer.
The first one, it was Nike Soccer.
So
Nike Football.
how do you get? You've never made a magazine before.
Jay, he used to.
You wrote a magazine.
Yeah, but
you never printed and published a magazine.
Of course, yes.
You did. Which one?
WAD and Where? WAD.
Oh, okay.
and Where.
So you did WAD and you did Where? Which
and Where.
for if you guys these magazines don't exist anymore. Right? But if you do your Google searching, WAD and WEAR were classic dope magazines.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had experience in making a magazine.
Yeah, but during 3 years, this is why when you work for a Maverick independent company, as WAD was, you have to do everything. I was at the printer, I was my artist editor, I was editor-in-chief. So, because, I look like a young puppies, but I can put my balls on the table also.
So how do you convince Nike to be like, give us money to make a new magazine?
We didn't convince them.
No.
It was so funny because back then, it was not Nike as today. So Nike was always open to new idea and new concept. And I remember the company was already got 4 years old. It was 4 or 5 years old.
2004 years old.
4 years old.
BlackRainbow was
and we already start and did a project with Nike, and they come up to us and said, okay, we're gonna launch the new French jersey. And we would like to find a new way to introduce the jersey to the community.
By the way, he's saying jersey.
Okay.
Jersey. The uniform.
The uniform.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. They have to understand exactly what we're talking about. So the uniform. So with Jay, we start thinking about what we could do for them to be really useful for us.
Yeah.
So.
Whoa. that's a very important. What could be useful to them that's also useful for us?
Exactly.
Because the name of the
This
magazine
is the key.
was called BlackRainbow.
Yeah.
It wasn't called Nike football jersey.
No. And you know why? You know what is the real reason for that? Of course it was useful for us. But what is the real reason for that? The real reason for that is Nike could not afford to have a disaster under the name. When I said disaster, it's not about like the quality of the magazine, but they knew we're going to go so far into a direction they cannot politically assume that takes the BlackRainbow umbrella to undercover the work we did. It was totally viral because they didn't even like talk about it. They didn't even like promote it.
Right.
They didn't even. It was just like
You guys did it.
Yeah, you guys did it.
And if they put a swoosh at the top of the magazine, then it becomes like internal politics shit.
Exactly.
Right.
And I remember, you have to imagine that we give the French national kit to Keshinita, this Japanese crazy photographer, for those kids who don't even know it.
Yeah.
And he get naked, smoking cigarette, and put his dick into the shoes. This is the picture he did.
And there was like,
and they were like
the worst.
yeah, it was like, you can check on, I mean, it's a crazy shooting he did, and he did the cover, like putting the shoes on his knee. I mean, crazy kind of weird stuff, but like really amazing. It's probably one of the best. And Nike could not afford, like, of course, to have a dick into his shoes, but like, and it was a real dick. I mean, it was, I mean,
but BlackRainbow could afford a dick in a shoe.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So this is exactly what Greg said. And it's a win-win. And we come back then to the DNA of street culture. What is the definition of a good collab? A win-win situation. Nike get images they won't never get by themselves.
Yeah.
And we get a product we will never get by ourselves because of the money and everything, and also like the products and everything.
Right.
So everybody is a win. And so this is how start the story of the magazine. And for the first time, Greg said it. All the clients, all the people in the industry say, oh my God, this guy, because everything was produced by us. And other people of the industry are saying, okay, they are producing content, they are doing good image. And we start to sign like a lot of brand content for many other brands.
Yeah.
Then, like,
how many
all the
times
other
does the
brands.
magazine come out?
Back in the day, it was two times a year, and then it became 1 time a year.
And now you don't do the magazine anymore.
Yeah, we do. No, we got no. We were supposed to launch the last one a month ago with Griezmann, but it will be launched.
French soccer player,
with,
Antoine Griezmann, top 3 French soccer
yeah.
player in the world.
Okay.
It was too fast. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, with the French player Antoine Griezmann. Let's say Antoine Griezmann.
Okay.
So it will be launched after Dubai, because so many things come up with the Chanel event in Colette for the Pharrell and MD Adidas. With the collab with Colette against with Modernica, so the month was like really crazy for us.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we cannot just drop the magazine in the middle of anything, So we.
And who's the company sponsor of this one?
Puma.
So every issue of BlackRainbow is supported by one brand.
Yep.
Or like a federation also, like sport federation,
Yeah.
because the magazine is about sport. And for example, the tennis issue was supported by K-Swiss and the ATP, like the tennis federation.
Right.
Same for basketball, it was NBA and Chanel.
Okay. Have you ever had a problem where two conflicting brands want to be part of it?
We never use like competitor brands in the magazine.
Okay.
We don't want that. And also the rules is to have one partners to be able to take care of the print or to the shipping, because the magazine is free. So we ship the magazine everywhere in the world by partnership.
Yeah.
And
shipping it out to everyone.
Yeah, and it costs
a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
Right.
So it's the only way to make it is to deal with the brands who get like a big account with UPS or FedEx, and they couldn't charge the shipping.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to be free, and also we want to keep the entry to be able to create whatever we want. And if you start to have like 4, 5, 6 partners, they're gonna start to want to control our direction, and we do not want that.
Right. You control everything.
For the magazine, yes.
Yeah.
So that's.
And is the magazine business a profitable thing for you guys?
Since yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to. So what do you say to all the people that say print is dead? Why are you making a big ass print magazine?
Because nobody is doing it.
Because it's dead. Because everyone thinks it's dead.
Yeah. Because the market don't like empty spaces, and then when you fill it up with the good spaces and everybody, then when you start something on it, like some kind of something people wait since a long time, since 2010. So we're 7 years later. It's like all gone now. It start to become like in the collectible thing a bit, and then. And the era where nobody's doing a magazine, where everything is digital, people need back something, So at some point, I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to do that. And at some point, we're going to need to find another idea. But so far, so good.
I love this. Some say print is dead. But like what Jay said, When there's an empty space in the market and you fill it with something good, an opportunity and need will eventually arise. Jay's experience at WAD Magazine definitely helped elevate the idea of the mag. Their approach to it is smart and well thought out. Use it as a way to showcase BlackRainbow's capabilities, a way to get their name out there, but also as a platform for brands to do something different than their everyday campaigns. It's something we've heard on previous episodes of Business of Hype. It's the art of the collaboration. Create something new that each party wouldn't have been able to create on their own. Listen, I'm not telling you to go start a magazine now. The takeaway is that if you find yourself having trouble explaining what you offer to the world, just go make something and put it out there. Don't bother with a slick elevator pitch. Just show them.
As you were saying, I mean, the whole company is not running around the magazine. The magazine is just one seed and one tree into the forest of what makes us.
What are the other things that the brand does?
Greg said it's strategy and consulting. Mm-hmm. I mean, people, you cannot even, it's a bit like you, like people, they don't even get it what is consulting and strategy.
Yeah.
Because it's so like something which doesn't exist around you, and everybody supposedly could be like strategist.
Well, I could explain quickly what it is, but I want to learn how you guys do it. So consulting strategy, essentially in one sentence, a company has a problem, they need to figure out the solution, and they need to oftentimes bring in somebody from the outside of the company to help them solve the problem. Simple. But
it's not.
How do you guys get into the company's door? First of all, that's the first question. Second question, once you're in the door, how do you convince them that, give us the money to figure this out?
Super easy. First of all, super easy. It's exactly. Okay. This is the most easiest part because you said it yesterday in your great talk in South DXB, amazing talk. Anyway, but you don't choose. I mean, it's like again, it's like with girls. The girls choose you. You're not choosing one. It means like brands always. I mean, since the beginning of the company, we never run for a competition or for a brand. Mm-hmm. All the brand come to see us.
They want to have a meeting with you. They call you.
I mean, they come like, and most of the time is by any strange reason. For example, I mean, we can talk about Yassine, for example, from Puma. When Yassine came, it was by chance. I can tell you and it's a real story. I'm going to tell you the story because people need to understand how luck, and I poke Ronnie Fig on this special word, lucky. You're a lucky guy, my dear, what I'm saying. But so I'm going to tell you the story. I was never at the shop back in the days. Greg was in LA and everything. And sometimes, I mean, our shop was in the basement. BlackRainbow Paris in the Marais. We have also a shop. Mm-hmm. Always our office in the basement. Sometimes, one by year, I go up to check what's happening in the store. Right. Because I'm a great boss, right? Because I'm French. I see this guy checking some clothes. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't fucking know who is this guy. But it looked nice. And he talked to me, hey, how are you? And we talk. Like, okay, I think back in the days he was taking care of Adidas tennis. Yeah. So I'm taking care of Adidas tennis. I said, okay, cool. We laugh a bit. Okay, this is my card. Maybe one day we're going to collab. End of the story. Mm-hmm. 2 years or something. 2 years later, or maybe more, I don't remember. 2 years later, we have like this massive headache with Puma.
Massive headache,
like struggle, like collapsing. I cannot tell more about it, but like imagine when everything on the collapse goes wrong, and everybody says it's not my fault. This kind of brand stuff, and you try to talk to some guy who get fired, and then another one pick it up, and the project is still running in 3 years. Anyway, Yassine came on one email and said, okay, guys, I'm gonna clean all the shit. Let's starting everything back. This is our fault. This is what we're gonna do now. Let's move on. Mm. And this is how we met. And he said, remember Jay, we met back in the day. I'm Yassine. And till then, this is how we start. Yeah. He solved the problem, and then he moved from another job. This is what you said at your conference. He moved from another job into Puma, and he said, "Oh, we should work on a new sell out kind of project." And we start to do select. It was the new line Puma was doing back in the day. Nobody wanted to work with Puma back in the day. Rihanna was not there. Yeah. No big deal. Nobody wanted to work for us. And say, you want? And Greg and I, we love this kind of shit. Uh-huh. Like when nobody wants to work for somebody, because this is where you can have the most crazy idea because you get under the radar. Right. Nobody's gonna. It's not big money for sure, but it is freedom. Yeah. Freedom to do what you want. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly the same as Nike for the first magazine and everything. If you want to have freedom and creativity, don't expect money. Uh-huh. Big budget, big trouble.
Right. More money, more problems.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless creativity.
How does it, but you mentioned it, and it sounds so easy, like, oh, you just sit back and you're literally like, and I'm speaking as though I'm a kid on HYPEBEAST listening to this. Yeah. You just sit back and you let clients call you? Yeah. Like, you don't call clients? No. How does that happen?
You know what?
Is it the magazine? Is it the magazine that is your calling card?
Imagine everything is a little seed.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody pee on the seed. You don't know why. Or it's raining on the grass, you know. Right. And sometimes a tree come. But the guy, or for example, somebody step on your feet or step on your seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is so many reasons why people come.
The real reason: don't stay behind your screen.
Yeah.
You have to be somewhere. What? Don't stay behind your screen.
This is true too. Don't stay behind your screen. Hold on. I'm gonna translate what Greg is saying.
Do not stay behind your screen.
Get out in real life.
Yeah. That's it.
Right.
You know, if you don't make things happen, they will never happen.
Yeah.
But don't run after it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same as everything. If you want something, go to it.
Yeah.
If you don't go to it, it will never happen. But if you beg for it, you will never have it.
But to a younger generation, you don't think they could chase it through the screen?
They can screw the screen, but they can't. No, they can.
Yeah. Okay, you can screw the screen. It's really porn now, right now. You can screw your screen, guy. You can screw your screen. It's hurt a bit, but you can.
You talk about like these new age digital influencers. They're building their whole life.
Yep.
On their phone.
Yeah, but you know what? They build. So they do something, so they go somewhere.
Yeah.
So even if you do it with your phone, even if you do it with your computer, even if you do it with your iPad or whatever, you have to do it.
You got to go out and do it.
You have to, you know what I mean? You have to do it.
Yeah, at least all the influencers right now on Instagram.
That's why
talents, like they take pictures on real life and somewhere.
Yeah.
So they are somewhere at some point.
Right.
And they keep consistency about it. You can check, like we can talk about all the new girls who are like, we know since a long time. You can take like Vashti, at some point they show up at some place and they show themselves and they meet people in real life.
Right.
They don't like wait, or they take pictures, which are happening in real life, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just like a huge speaker. Instagram and it's just socials are just a big speaker giving you a wider audience.
Right.
But if you don't know nothing and you don't like show up anything, why you be useful to anybody?
We can see it with the YouTuber. YouTuber today is amazing and crazy things happen in the world.
I will say though
that they do a show.
Yeah.
They do a real show for their fan to see them for real. So you have to be real anyway, and you have to do things anyway.
And I will say that if you eventually want that corporate money, you have to go out and meet a person and shake his hand.
Of course.
And if you've spent your whole life behind a phone, you don't know what to do when you meet a person in real life.
Exactly.
Like I see so many young people that like we DM, we talk, we text, everything's cool. I meet them in person and it's like the weirdest, most awkward experience because I don't think they've seen like a human being, you know? No, I see that all the time. Like, wow, you need to develop people skills. If you want to get that check signed or you want to get that contract signed, guess what? You got to meet them up. And
if you want to do the money, at the end, you will have to deal with the people.
Yeah.
No choice. You have to sit on the table.
I cannot stress this enough. Yes, we live in a digital and social world today, and that gives us many more advantages than it did in the past. Your reach, your ability to connect with anyone, anywhere. But because of this, it makes it even more important to actually go out and take action. I still have yet to see a contract signed over an Instagram DM. So no matter how adept you are at mastering digital and social, eventually, you're going to have to go into the real world, meet real people, and shake their hands. And you better make yourself good at that also. These real-life experiences will always trump what you can do behind the screen. Those who connect the real world and the digital world will have the advantage in elevating above the rest. Take it from Greg, Jay, and all the other guests on Business of Hype. What you see might be the parties and the dope drops, but it's the space and time between those posts that the real work is happening.
I mean, especially in France, and this is where America is a bit better, it's about like the business skills. Because for example, in France, and this is really interesting, this is something like, because you are talking about youth generation, and now we have young kids around us a lot, and this is where nobody in France teach you to be a good businessman. And even the business schools in France are the worst on earth because it's just like PowerPoint, kind of theoric, kind of knowledge. And this is what's happening right now, unfortunately, in all company and in all the brand. You're talking with girls and boys. Most of the time it's girls, but like let's say girls and boys, we don't have any clue about what's happening in the market right now and don't have bullshit, just have theory in their mind. But nobody is preparing you for what is business. And this is why also I like to be with Greg as partner, because it's not about business. There is two approach of business. There's the theory business, which is really nice and cloud, and rainbow, unicorns, everything is fantastic. And then you have the real business, like when you confront to reality and when you have to put your hand into it,
Yeah.
And nobody on earth can prepare about you. I'm a bad businessman. I can tell you. And I learned, thanks to Greg, how to be like a decent one. At least like to understand how money is, flux. How do you say it in English?
Flux.
Flux.
Yeah.
It was not that bad.
Not too bad.
And also depends for what you're doing in your business, We have a good point with Jay and I. We do not run this business to become like a billionaires. This is not the way. I'm gonna be frank. I used to have like a very strong brand. I used to have with another brand I create just after Triad, big investors and everything. And to be really honest with myself, the most important is my freedom. And the
you
money,
had more money before, but no freedom.
But no freedom. So that's the thing. You really have to know how to deal your business. If you do it for you, if you do it for the money, or even if you do it for a project, And I choose with Jay and I'm pretty lucky with that because he got exactly the same vision. We do it for our freedom, but also for our lifestyle. We don't do it for the money. If you do it for the money, guys, you have to be ready to fight every day and to put your life on the side. It's the same as the target to be a doctor. Between
like dedication, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really something different.
Right.
And this is what I try to bring also in the company to have a different vision. It's the same when you're dealing with the client and he come with numbers. He said, "Did you call us to make numbers, or did you call us to make image, or did you call us to be cool? Yeah. What is your target? What do you need?"
Right.
Because if you need the everything in once, it's impossible. You cannot be cool, free, and rich. All this in once, honestly, except if you get like a fucking good heritage and you're gonna lose all your money very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Right. Right.
So, and sometimes you have some clients really crazy. They think they can be cool, free, and rich.
Yeah.
But
you mentioned being from Paris and the sort of disadvantages and struggles about coming from Paris. And I think a lot of our listeners don't live in New York, Tokyo, right? And I hear a lot like, "Oh, I'm from Philadelphia," or "I'm from, Sao Paulo." Like, I'm not in like the limelight city. How do you have to like express yourself, or is it like tougher?
This is bullshit. This is just excuses.
So you think the location doesn't matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, especially right now. It's funny, I had this exact talk yesterday for national TV here with young kids who are doing like amazing job here, and they were, in a way, it's the same, like, they always feel like, it's so amazing what you do out there, you're so lucky to be in Paris, or you're so lucky, like, as you said, this is bullshit. Because back in the day, we were traveling from city to another city to get inspired, and you always get more inspired. I'm more inspired for Sao Paulo than Paris, you know what I mean? Yeah. Paris is my city, or New York. I hate New York. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day right now, it's just excuses. It's just excuses. You have to stop thinking, like, underestimate yourself because you're living in another country, deep in France or deep whatever. Because at the end, it's just what Greg said. It's about how much you can travel, how many times you can travel, how many people, how many ideas you have, how much you want it, how much you're ready to fight for it. Otherwise, of course, it's more easy to live in a big city because you have access, like, to big corporation. But it's just it. You can, like, travel in train or by plane and make your meeting in one day and then come back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right now, what we are facing, most of our clients are not even in Paris anymore. Most of them are in Amsterdam or London or New York or LA. We don't deal really, Portland or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just excuses. For me, kids, new generation need to stop to underestimate themselves because they live, like, outside big city or because they are not from a cool place. Create your cool place.
Right.
Create your cool place. Yeah. I mean, Harajuku was not cool back in the days. I mean, Lafayette was not cool back in the days. Lower East Side was not cool back in the day. Paris,
Paris was not
when we opened BlackRainbow in Le Marais, nobody was there. Yeah. Everybody was saying, like, "Why the fuck are you doing there?" Nobody was there. Now you have Supreme, you have Broken Arm, you have Babe, you have, like, all the fucking store coming here 10 years later. Yeah. And you know all the story of behind the brand. It happened everywhere. It happened in your district. It happened everywhere. So why it cannot happen in the fucking even in Dubai? You saw it last year. There is no shop in D3 where 30XB is coming.
Right.
Now you have 3 shops. selling more cool product that I can find in Paris. They have like more cool Japanese product I can find actually in Paris.
Right, so it's an excuse.
It's just excuses. People just get fear, and it just make a bit like angry because like I don't like excuses. I like truth, and this is what I'm saying. I like truth. Don't bullshit me. I mean, we can have fun and blah blah blah, and this is really fun, but don't bullshit yourself, because the first thing is people gonna find excuse on their own fear inside themselves, their own very fear.
Right.
And you know, it sounds cheesy, but this is like really important. If you look at all the people successful in the industry, see some people who fight their own fear inside themselves, and they take the gut, just the gut, or the craziness, because sometimes it's just like craziness, to do what they want to do.
But you know what? I think the problems today, if with the young people, they're scared and they do not really understand, because through the social media, their thinking is very fast and very quick and so easy to do it, because you are in Milan, because you are in Paris, because you are in New York, and they will be never able to do it because of the vision they got in the reality. But they have to understand, all the people they see on the media start at the same way as you, Jeff, as me, or even as Jay in the cave with a fucking t-shirt and 2 graphic and little shit like that.
Yeah.
So yes, don't lie to
but
yourself.
But on Instagram, you only show the party, the bottles.
Exactly.
That's the tip of the iceberg.
So we went to the party. We went to few different country and different. But at the end, we was alone in our room or in our cave to say, okay, I'm gonna kick the world, I'm gonna make my game, I'm gonna meet the stuff, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
The reality, you did it. I do it.
Right.
So once again, don't lie to yourself. Just try to do it, and you don't care, because you don't do it for the rest of the world. You do it for yourself.
Yeah.
So if you like it, do it. You don't care if the people like your t-shirt, your design, your look, or whatever you are. If you like yourself and you believe in yourself, you will do it.
Actually, this is so true, and this is the biggest problem right now. This is what we, as you, like when kids come in the office and ask us questions. Right now, I'm falling from my chair because always, you know, this guy forgets something. Okay, let's take fashion industry, right? And you have this new brand. Most of the time, people will come to see us and they say, "Oh, how can we make it like big? How can we like push it? Like, oh, you can help us to push it." Okay, you say, okay, let's look at the clothes. Oh, okay, the clothes is like this. I didn't finish them. It's just a bit. I said, okay, so basically you're your marketing director. You're not doing. What is the role of your company? Doing clothes, right? So produce them, ship them, deliver them. Marketing is after. Marketing, and those kids are all marketing director. They're just talking about art director. Like, what event I'm gonna do? What pictures? I need this photographer and everything. You are not even fucking able to produce one t-shirt, and you are a t-shirt brand. Go into your room and ask your mom like to help you to clean the kitchen, motherfucker. Like, produce your fucking t-shirt. Like, everybody forget that. Produce, ship, deliver.
Right.
And we have back in the days this company. I remember all this American company back in there. I'm not gonna mention the brand. They were not even able to do that. Or, like, nobody is able to do that properly. You can talk to any owner of any shop around the world. We never get the product at the time. Never.
And
ever.
even the right product
and
in the
the
box.
right product in the box, or the right graphic, or the right size.
Yeah.
I mean, people need to understand. Everybody got his job to do. I mean, when you're just like a classic movie star, you're not a porn star. Let the porn star do the porn, and you're gonna do your movie. You know what I mean? You are a t-shirt company. Make your fucking t-shirt, bro. Start to do marketing.
Right.
You are a sneaker company. Do your sneaker well. Why you do these ugly sneakers? I mean, you can do like the best marketing on earth. If your product is shit, the marketing is gonna be shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna just sell 10 instead of 2,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is something we need to calm everybody down. You're a sport company. What the fuck you're doing denim? You are a luxury brand. Why you're doing streetwear? You're a streetwear. What are you doing luxury? You know what I mean? Everybody want to do everything, but nobody doing nothing. And at the end, you finish with bad cut, bad shipping, bad colors, and
Bad
nobody
sales.
and bad quality, and all the boundaries falls apart. But just because people don't stick to what they said, and we come back to the point of truth. When we say black, you get black. I asked for a t-shirt, medium, white. What the fuck? I got this pink, oversized t-shirt with the wrong logo.
Right.
And we lost the message when everybody doing like shit like that.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
It was amazing to have you on board.
That was great. Drop knowledge.
Drop knowledge. Culture. I do it for the culture. I do it for the culture, bro. I do it for bullshit.
Hey, thanks for listening to this hilarious episode with Greg and Jay from BlackRainbow Paris. As always, you can find out more about the show and listen to other episodes at hypebeast.com/radio. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. I personally use Anchor FM. Also, give us a 5-star rating and leave a comment to tell us what you think of the show. It definitely helps out a lot. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. I'm at jeffstaple. And we occasionally answer listener questions on the show. So if you have a question, you can email it in to questions@businessofhype.com. The Business of Hype is created in collaboration with Bright Young Things. You can check out their work at byt.nyc. Our director is Daniel Navetta. Our audio engineer is David Rogers-Berry. Our intern is Sydney Pacumpera. And this interview was recorded in Dubai at Seoul DXB. Additional audio recording took place at Sibling Rivalry Studios in New York City, probably at night and probably on a weekend. I'm Jeff Staple, and you've been listening to The Business of Hype on Hype Radio.